Valentine is here.
Hey, where's your boyfriend?
You are still alone.
Lonely.
Hi guys. Welcome back to the podcast. It's your girls again. I'm Ayo.
And I'm Temi.
And I'm Ashley.
Thank you for all your support on our last episode about...
What did we talk about again?
Hey, my mind's gone blank.
Mm-hmm. We spoke about sexy and safe. Safe and sexy.
Yes. Thank you to the people that joined the discussion in the comments.
Honestly.
We appreciated you.
100%.
And just showing their support, the people that messaged us on our socials.
Yes.
Also welcome if you're listening by SoundCloud.
Yeah.
Today we are discussing dating. To be more specific, dating to marry. And also
when you should start dating,
the age,
our opinions on dating, etc.
Dating.
That's it. And we're on the road to 1,000 subscribers, guys. So do what you can. Share us with your friends.
Guys,
just do what you can. Subscribe. If you're watching this and you haven't subscribed yet.
Like if you're new to our channel,
I don't know what you're doing.
It's very sus.
We don't tell you guys to subscribe like that, but
please,
just do it.
Support the girls.
Yeah, man.
Right. So what's everyone's definition of dating? I think that's a good start. Because I'm a bit.
You start, Temi.
Well, every time I hear of the word dating, I just think, I don't know if it's necessarily being in a relationship with someone, like 100% in a relationship. Like my mum would call it, it's like courting, innit? It's like not getting to know each other, but you are getting to know each other. Like you've just gone past the getting to know each other stage. You're dating, you're going out on dates, and you're enjoying each other's company. But I don't know if it's necessarily like boyfriend, girlfriend in a relationship.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I agree with that actually.
What about you?
I think dating, to sum it up, like what you said, is just getting to know someone that you potentially see. For me anyway, because there's some people who just date like casually, or like just have fun, just have company,
which we're gonna discuss.
Later on. But for me personally, I see dating as getting to know someone that you potentially see like a future with, getting to know them, getting to know like their friends, their family. Some I don't know if I see it as boyfriend and girlfriend, but for me, dating is exclusive,
right?
Or it should be.
To you.
To me, because I've never how some people they date multiple people at the same time. That's to each their own.
It's not a bit of me.
It's not for us.
That's to each their own. But I would see dating as exclusive. Yeah.
What about you?
I feel like dating for me is when you're boyfriend and girlfriend as well as the bit before. So I feel like you might meet someone and then you'll think, okay, maybe we could be together, and then you have like the talking stage where you even figure out, okay, is this person sensible? Then it gets to the part where you date, as in they'll ask you, oh, do you want to go on a date? And then all that getting to know period, that getting to know period to when you're actually dating as a boyfriend and girlfriend, I classify that as dating.
Oh, okay. So then if you're doing all the dates and stuff and you're going out getting to know each other, should they then still ask, oh, can you be my girlfriend?
100%.
If you classify... No, I'm saying for her, because you said you classify that part as dating.
Oh, see, that's
should they still ask them?
See, I'm a very funny person. Like, I'm not really that much of
a funny person.
I'm not a labels type of babe. Like, I'm the kind of person where it's like, if we're talking, and there's always that mutual, well, if he's a sensible human. There's that mutual understanding that, okay, it's going to switch from, okay, we're still like maybe looking at other people to just exclusive, which you don't necessarily need to say, will you be my girlfriend? I don't necessarily think you have to say it like that, but I do think a conversation about exclusivity
there should be clear communication.
Should be had. That's how I
agree.
Me personally, you have to ask me to be in a relationship with you. We could be together for 5 years just dating. Once it comes out of that stage, and
5 years.
No, it was just an example. I'm not saying
not allowed to do that anyway.
It's just one simple common example, I'm not saying that I'm dating someone for 5 years, but I'm just let's just say I'm dating someone for 3 months,
right?
Or 4 months,
right?
To me, that would be getting to know each other, the beginning stages, whatever. we can have like you said, we can have a conversation about being exclusive, but still being exclusive to me doesn't mean we're together, like in a boyfriend-girlfriend relationship. It means we're still dating, but exclusively dating. So I'm seeing you, you're seeing me, but you're not seeing anybody else, and I'm not seeing exactly.
But then I feel like being boyfriend-girlfriend as well.
No, not to me. I don't know why, but with me,
there's a significance.
It's a significance. Like you just have to genuinely. And the thing is, it's just a question. Like it doesn't take a lot. It's just literally like, oh, will you be my girlfriend? Because the same way you want to marry someone, you're not going to you're not just going to assume that we're married now.
Oh,
that has to. As much as you can have you can when you go out when you have a boyfriend, you can have a conversation when you get to that stage in your relationship where you can start talking about marriage and stuff. That doesn't mean you're married.
That's right.
You know.
Or
so
engaged,
do you know what I mean? He hasn't gone down one knee. He hasn't done traditional stuff or however you like it. Personally, I want a guy. It doesn't have to be in the most flamboyant way, but you do need to ask me to be your girlfriend.
So would you want him to ask with the words, "Will you be my girlfriend"?
However,
or, like just to ask, like just for there to be like a clear conversation.
The easiest way,
you know what, I see myself being, like building a life with
me personally, the easiest way is just to ask, will you be my girlfriend? Because it's just a question with a direct answer, yes or no. However, we can have those conversations. You can say, I do see myself being with you. But the way I am, when a guy says stuff like, I do see myself being with you, I'm just like, oh, okay, I see myself being with you too.
But
what does
that?
Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just a conversation.
That's for me. I get to the bottom. So I know we're different in that way. So you don't need to ask me will you be my girlfriend. But when you've now said do you want to be exclusive, I'll then say, okay, so what does that mean?
Yeah.
Like, what does that mean?
Do you know what I mean?
That means different things for different people.
100%. The guy could be thinking him asking you not that question, but having that conversation with you about I see myself with you. To him, that can mean you're in a relationship. And funnily enough, something similar has happened to me in the past where it was a misunderstanding. He said things like, I see myself being with you, all of that, and I was like, oh, okay, I see myself being with you either. And exactly, and then do you know what it is?
It turns into a situation.
Do you know what it is? The thing is, it could be exclusive, but we're still not in a boyfriend and girlfriend relationship. And funnily enough, like a few days after we had that conversation, I think a conversation came up and he was just like, oh, so like be my girlfriend. I'm thinking, whoa,
I'm your girlfriend or what?
When did you ask me to be your girlfriend? We just had a conversation about exclusivity. We had a conversation about.
My only question with that then is what change? What's the transition? So what makes the two different?
To me personally, what makes the two different? What you mean in terms of?
So say we're exclusive. So we've already agreed that we're exclusive. So what makes that different from when he then asks you?
Okay, there's not much of a difference if I'm being very honest.
That's what I was about to ask as well. Actually, because they're actually.
It's not
to me. There's none, but that's because of the type of conversation I would be expecting to have.
Do you know what it is?
I think
it's so funny because some very similar stuff has happened recently with me. But it's a thing where if other people, like my friends, ask me, like if you two ask me, do you have a boyfriend? And I'm exclusive, no. I'm going to tell you I don't, because I don't. Like if my mum asks me, like if family asks me, are you even in a relationship? I can't say yes, like explicitly how I want to.
I've also
do you know what I'm gonna say? I'm just gonna be like, it's complicated. I'm gonna be like, no.
And it doesn't. It means people don't really understand what's going on.
Yeah.
Which I don't think
you understand what's going on.
But yeah, other people, it doesn't make sense.
But other people, it's not like
even though it doesn't really, like you said, it doesn't really need to make sense, but it kind of does at the same time. If it depends who's asking, like your close friends, like these two. I would want to be 100% sure of what I'm saying to them before saying it to them, or my mum as well. I don't want to tell my mum.
Oh, I don't know. So then, what if like you've had that conversation and the conversation that I was explaining, so like it's clear cut that he's explained what it means to be exclusive, like you have a clear understanding that you don't even look in someone else's direction, and then say like you're out and then like you bump into one of his friends and then they're like, oh, who's this? And he says, oh, this is my girlfriend, but he hasn't actually asked you. Would you be annoyed
in that moment? In that moment, I'm not going to show annoyance because at the end of the day, I don't want to embarrass you in front of your friends, so I don't want to make any sort of. But how I am after, I'll be like, oh, since when?
But would you actually be annoyed, or would you just be like, oh, since when?
I would definitely not be annoyed if we're exclusive. Like, it will even make me more excited.
Had the conversation,
yes,
and I'm not just saying conversation like, oh, like what are we?
I see myself. You know what you are.
You've had like, I feel like these kind of conversations are better had face to face.
Yes,
because you see their body language.
Yes,
you hear their tone of voice. You see just everything, their facial expressions.
Yes.
And they've said to you, bang, bang, bang.
This is
I'm not looking at anyone else.
It's just
I have the intention of marrying you.
But he still just hasn't said, do you want to be my girlfriend?
He just hasn't said those words.
100%.
I'd be annoyed.
that doesn't matter to me, innit? You don't have to ask
same.
me.
I don't think I would be.
If we're on the same
I've
page,
been
innit?
annoyed.
We're on the same page, innit?
That's why I'm 50-50. Because the only time I've been annoyed is like when there hasn't been like a clear conversation, and I feel like that's only been with guys who are not really serious.
And
they've like wormed their way around
into
it. They've been like, I see myself being with you, but they also see themselves being with X, Y, and Z.
Do you know what I mean? And also to answer your question, I will definitely not be annoyed. If anything, I'll be more excited because we're about to get into that next stage of the relationship. So if anything, I'll just be like, you might as well ask me properly then, you know. But also, do you know how some men can be in a like it went okay? So you know when you might have arguments with a guy, and then you guys are arguing or whatever the situation is, and then he drops the line of you, but you're not even my girlfriend, though.
Oh, no, guys love that whole "you're not my girlfriend" as a loophole. I'll say that for sure. But that's why I'm not playing with any random rubbish.
Yeah, exactly.
You still never know.
No,
but you're right. I hear what you're saying.
But it comes down to the type of this
guys.
goes for girls as well. By the way, obviously we're just speaking from the female perspective.
Yeah.
That's something. It comes down to the kind of guy.
100%.
If you've had that conversation, I'm not saying that it can't happen after that conversation. But I feel like
it's less likely to happen.
It's less
but
likely.
I don't want to even
you don't let that
be there.
Yeah.
Because you know why? Because if you open your mouth and
risky.
say to me, "You're not my girlfriend, and we're in a relationship," I'm just gonna laugh at you because I am. I remember the day you asked me, "I am your girlfriend."
I'm your girlfriend.
I'm not going anywhere anytime soon. You know, you can go argue, go calm down in another room. I'm still your girlfriend.
I'm still here.
But it's one of those things where if you're not the girlfriend and he hasn't asked you, what can you really say in that situation? You know, or even if he doesn't bring up the fact that, "Oh, you're not my girlfriend." Some heated conversation or some heated argument can just, I don't know, to me it can just be like you yourself as a woman. I can even think, this guy didn't even ask me to be his girlfriend. Why am I stressing so much? Why am I stressing so much? Playing wifey. I'm playing wifey when I'm not even wifey. You know, things like that. That's the way I think.
I
get it. I get that.
On the flip side, mine is just more I'm a commitment person, innit? So once we've had that conversation, then I believe we're on the same page. And I'm the type of person who will always be clarifying these things, innit? Because that's part of being in a relationship.
Step.
That's communication. It's communication. Like, what is this? Kind of thing, but you shouldn't have to be having that all the time. You're right. You shouldn't be having that all the time.
You should just know, because when you're in a relationship, when he, do you know what it is with me? Once that conversation's had and he literally asks me, it eliminates a lot of things. Like my overthink. Even though no one's saying you can't break up. Of course, you can break up in a relationship, but it eliminates a lot of overthinking in terms of arguments. I know exactly where I stand. When it comes to telling my close friends and family, I know exactly what to say. We don't need to keep talking about commitment every single time or that confirmation every single time.
I feel like that's not a bad thing though. If you've had the conversation and he hasn't asked that question,
it's not a bad thing necessarily.
It's like, I see it as just as reassurance, sort of thing. I'm not saying that you sit down and he's telling you, "Oh, by the way, you know, we were exclusive, right?" Blah, 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 blah. But just in a sense that it's like, "Oh, like just to remind you, you know, I have the intention of marrying you." Because what now? This goes to my next question. What now if they ask you to be their girlfriend and then they now tell you, "Oh, I actually don't see myself getting married."
That's the flip side of it.
That's what the whole video is about.
But then now we're getting deep into the video in a sense where you're not.
So he's saying he wants you to be his girlfriend, but you don't want to marry me.
This goes back.
I don't want.
He's just basically, essentially, he's just dating that to pass time, like just for
I don't do
not
that.
for the fun, but like
I don't do that.
Yeah.
Can I say something? It goes back to what you said. It depends who the guy is. We're not going for it by God's grace. God isn't bringing useless guys into our lives.
If someone ever said that to me, I will fall down.
How can you ask me to be your girlfriend when I don't see myself marrying you? Are you wasting my time? Are you wasting it? What's the point? What are we doing?
You're rude.
No, it's true.
I think that's
work experience.
From when you even started talking to me, you already know where my head is at. For you to have the confidence.
Do you know when you say that? Yeah, I feel like the type of people that we are, especially the message that we send on our channel, on our social life, like for you to even approach me, it means that the devil has not only used you, but he's also sent you. So that's behind me. Because you've seen that I'm a serious person. I don't have time to waste. I'm not anybody's work experience.
Facts.
So the fact that you've now approached me, and then that's what I'm saying, because you can have that conversation. So what if he lies, or later on he actually says, "Oh, do you know what? I actually see myself getting married,"
even after asking to be in a relationship.
Please.
Get out.
Make way for someone who's ready.
My whole thing, okay, so we want to talk about dating to marry, yeah? My whole thing is, if you're not dating to marry, then you're dating to break up, no?
But then what if someone is watching this and they're like, "Oh, but, like say if someone who's watching this and they don't believe in the whole dating to marry
And so maybe some people don't believe
you're
in
also
marriage.
that means you're also dating for disappointment though. Because then for me it's okay when you're dating, right? What's the point? Is it just to have fun? If I say
casual dating,
then you don't need to even date, bro. Just say you want to have fun.
Do you know what it is? The flip side of it, I think we've had this conversation actually off camera.
Yeah, we have.
In terms of like dating to marry, not everyone wants to get married, and that's absolutely fine. There's nothing wrong with it.
We're coming from a Christian.
We're coming from a Christian perspective,
as well.
and even
cultural,
cultural and even personal. Because I want to 100% get married.
Yeah.
That's what I want by God's grace one day.
I don't have time to waste.
People that don't want to get married, but that doesn't mean they don't deserve to love. They don't deserve to be in a relationship. 100%. You deserve to love. There's some people, like I have friends that have parents that they're not married. They've been together for very long. They've had kids. You would think they are married.
Right.
You know, it's not written on your forehead. It's just literally a certificate that says you're married. Do you know what I'm saying? So I think, me personally, having this conversation, when I say dating to marry, I don't necessarily marry, but I mean dating to be together forever. Kind of thing. That's how I kind of see it. But when you, of course, it's when you talk about marriage, you mean like marriage, like the commitment, everything.
Because sorry, go on.
But that's basically it.
But for me, marriage is not about a certificate for me. But the way I view marriage is like the sanctity of it. So the institution of what God created marriage to be. I want to bring up my kids in the way God wants me to. So that is in a marital home. And that's why I'm dating to marry. It's not just because, a marriage seems cool and the pictures will be nice. I'm dating because
beyond that.
I'm dating to marry because I believe in long life commitment. I believe that God said it's not good for man to be alone, innit? And I think there's a reason why he said that. And the whole thing about how two people are better than one, all of that, like I feel like it's very powerful. Doesn't mean that not getting married you won't have a long term relationship, but there's always that in the balance thing of this can break any time. Whilst for me, marriage is forever. I don't believe in marrying and then getting a divorce. So for me, when I'm then making that decision, it's like I'm choosing to be with you for the rest of my life.
And obviously there's still like married couples that do get divorced.
That's what I was gonna bring up.
But essentially what we're saying is, like she said, the sanctity of marriage and just understanding God's intention behind marriage, and just understanding that, you know, you don't just get, personally for me, I don't just want to get married for the sake of getting married. I'm getting married because of purpose, God's purpose for each of us, and understanding that, you know what, we've now been aligned together essentially, and like she said, it's not good for man to be alone, and knowing that he's going to be my helper, I'm going to be his helper, etc. So
and then we're going to do what God called us to do, to create other people, you know,
to build his kingdom.
You get what I'm saying?
Essentially,
that's me, innit?
But can I ask a question then? Is marriage compulsory?
Do you know,
I think you've kind of answered it already.
It's good that you asked that, because one thing I just thought now is a lot of people don't know this, but people are also called to singleness, to be single for the rest of their life. There are people, there are people in the Bible, like Paul, for instance, Paul the Apostle. He never got married, and he actually said it's better to not get married. There's a verse in the Bible where he says it's better not to get married, because when you get married, the things that come with marriage is not easy. It's not a joke, and there's certain things that you will be able to fulfill in your relationship with Christ that when you're single, that when you're married, it's not. It can't, because there's so many commitments. So there are some people that are called to singleness, but
I never need that.
Yeah, but
that's how everyone's meant to be.
Priests, nuns, you know. But the thing about being called to singleness, it's a calling, innit? And I think it doesn't mean they're not going to struggle with that wanting to be in a relationship thing. I think they'll still struggle with that, because that being called to singleness means you're not going to have sex for your whole life if you're a Christian, obviously. That means you're not going to have sex ever. Do you know what I mean? That means you're never going to have kids. It means you're not going to experience a lot of things. It means that a lot of the people in your life, like, the things that they will experience, you're never going to touch it.
So what was the question you asked again?
I think it's compulsory to get married.
Is it compulsory?
Is it
It's
compulsory
not
for you guys?
For me, yes.
For me, yeah. So basically, we're asking for our. We can't speak for other people. For me, 100%, no question involved.
Do you know how I was going to answer that question? The older I get, the more like, let me tell you something,
I'm done.
I would love to.
No, you will, man.
I mean, you will. I don't know why.
No, it's not that. Like, I would just love to, innit? I would love to get. It's such a great idea.
But it doesn't happen, what?
I'm not going to die.
No, that's fine.
Yeah, no, we're not going to die.
But then we also have to realise, my life can't, the part of me wanting to have kids, how's that going to happen if I don't get married?
Exactly.
No,
that's me, innit?
Yeah, no, I get you. Do you know what it is? I've just always had it, like, by God's grace, I want kids more than marriage anyway.
Oh, wow.
Right. Because for me,
because you can't fall in love. You can't force a marriage. If you can't, God forbid, by God's grace, we're all gonna find the love of our lives. Yeah. But I'm so sorry. There are aunties, there are women that we know that are grown women. You know, when they were our age, they had had all these ideas as well that they would love to do, but who wouldn't, you know?
Goals,
But it just didn't work that way. Not to say they're better than anyone, but it just didn't work that way. But they still, I guess they still have kids. Like I would honestly rather have kids than spend the rest of my life with a man and not have children.
That's interesting.
Personally,
because for me,
because for me,
but that's the thing for me. It's like lifelong, because a lot of people say, okay, but the marriage is not compulsory. But then if you're then deciding to be that person for the rest of your life, why wouldn't you get married? Like, to me, the two don't make sense.
I'm coming from a perspective of not finding the person.
Yeah, no, that's different.
Yeah, that's
but
different.
I think people in our generation, the reason they don't want to get married is the whole
that's so crap.
The legal stuff. They're like, oh, it's legal. It's all about
you're focused on the wrong thing. That's not what marriage is.
Sorry to say it as well. Like you know when they say, oh, they want to get the government involved. The government is already involved in your life, in your job.
They know everything you're doing.
Health.
I'm sorry, especially if you live in this UK. They know everything.
They have
that your camera, the camera on your MacBook.
You know where
if you miss 1 month of tax, they're writing you. They know where you live. So what are you talking about?
Comment that ways that are texting you that you're in your overdraft. You're saying you don't want the government.
Your water bill. They know. What? I don't want to get the government. They know everything. They know.
They know you.
They know.
To get a house, the government has to get involved.
They know you.
The basics in life. Like the government is already involved. They're like, I think people's the whole as well. Like when you get married, it's like you're putting your two incomes together. Yeah. But it's like I think that you're looking at it from a selfish point of view. That's
what I don't think we realised. Yeah, but you know, I've some job applications.
Yeah.
They will ask you, what's it like? Not only like if you're single, blah blah blah, but do you live on your own? Do you live with your parents? Do you live with a partner? And obviously, you can lie, but
what's the reason behind them asking that?
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. I don't know. On the application, but it's like, are you living by yourself? Are you looking after?
And then they ask like, who's the chief earner in the family? Things like that. Like it's just important stuff. And obviously, from a psychological background, because I studied psychology, there was a study conducted. Employers tend to hire people that are already married, and the reason behind that is because you're seen as more trustworthy, and you know you have a family to take care of, so you're responsible in that sense.
You're more responsible for stuff.
I don't know if you're more responsible for stuff.
Have to be less more selfless.
Exactly, but also the flip side of that, other employers are likely to hire people that are not married, because then you don't have as much responsibility, so you can focus on your work more. So do you know what I mean? There's a flip side to this conversation that we're having. It's just your personal individual point of view. And
on your topic of the kids thing, the only reason why I prefer to get married and have kids is because I would never want to bring up kids in a household where I'm not married.
Can I say something? I don't mind. Me personally, should I tell you what? I don't mind, because
they'll have people in their lives.
Do you know what? Like it takes a village. It doesn't take a husband and a wife.
Yeah,
like I know kids that have been. I know people that have been brought up not in a whole marital background where they are absolutely fine. They're doing better than kids that are brought up in a marital. So to me, that's not a huge factor. Of course, that's how I want it to be. Growing up, that's the perception that we've always had. That's how I've seen it happen. My parents were married before they had me. I was brought up with my mum and my dad. Yeah. Of course, that's how I want it to be. However, I know that's not the be or do all that. That's not the end of the world. I know that if I have anything to do with raising my own children, I would give them everything I can. Do you know? And by God's grace, my parents will still be alive. You know, they can look after their grandkids. You know, it's not. It's, do you know what I mean?
That's
and do you know what it is? Like with marriage as well. Marriage can end. I'm so sorry. Marriage can end, but with your kids, they're always gonna be there. Like I can't. I would if I had to choose between having a husband and having kids, I will 100% have kids. I want mini me's.
I can imagine.
I want kids. I can't leave this world without leaving something behind.
That's the thing about me though. When it comes to kids, the way I view kids is that they are literally a physical representation of the love me and my husband are gonna have.
100%.
That's how I view it. So it's like for me to not have kids. I mean, to have kids and not be in like a healthy relationship. For me, I would just feel like I'm not giving them. That's me.
Yeah, no,
I would feel like I'm not giving them. And obviously, a lot of marriages, people have kids, but the marriage is toxic, so it doesn't matter. But I'm saying, obviously, from an optimistic point of view, like that's what I would want to give them, a healthy home.
So then, when you're saying the optimistic view, do you not think then that people should change their mindsets and not have the but what if? And
I don't like the what if personally.
The clause, basically the clause is like, but you know,
prenups.
There's people, or you know, like just in case marriage ends or blah 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 blah. So do you not think then that people should change their mindset and then strive? Because it's then like having the mindset of,
what if I die today?
If I fail at this, it doesn't matter because like,
I know what you mean.
Do you know what I mean?
I don't think the
Do
necessarily.
you think that we've come in this culture of
being
it doesn't?
pessimistic?
Yeah, like
Personally,
it's
when
whatever.
when I say that whole like, oh, what if, me saying that is just the fact that that's also as important as what I believe in. Right. I don't know how to say it, because growing up, like I keep saying, like I had this mindset of this is how it's going to be. Coming to a certain age, seeing more of the world, seeing more of life, people around me. I even have friends, you know, they find themselves in situations that they would never in a million years wanted to be in. Do you know what I mean? So of course, you not to say, I'm gonna prophesy bad into my life, but it's just the fact that just never say it's never gonna be me.
And that's fine.
Do you know what
Anything
I mean?
can
Obviously, you have control of your own life. You know, by God's grace, there's power in the tongue. There's absolutely, like, let's not deny that. But sometimes we all know life isn't what we want it to be, and there's nothing we can do about it. You know?
Course, I get that. I think my whole thing is more, I like to be optimistic in it. I mean,
which is good.
If you think it's too optimistic,
I don't think it's too optimistic. It's very realistic.
Like the Bible even promises, like that He calls us to an abundant life. He calls us to all these things. So for me, I just choose to believe that, innit? And I believe in choosing to believe that God will honour my faith. Yeah. That's just how I view it. But I do, 100%. The realistic part is facts. Like, I know people's marriages that have broken down. They got married thinking it was going to be a fairy tale. And then they're married to the devil. Like, you facts. Like, you don't know what's going to happen. But I do believe.
Married to the devil.
I do believe, that God will always warn you. Because I don't even want to speak too much.
Yeah, let's not. I feel like I know where you're going. That's even a whole.
And that's why I'm saying. Actually, that's why we also wanted to talk about what age is the right age.
Yeah, I was going to bring that up.
Yeah. So just to finish on that part that you guys were talking about. Yeah. The reason why I understand where you're coming from, Temi, is because I used to have that mindset of, you never know. You have to be realistic. But at the end of the day, I realised that, first of all, being a Christian is not actually realistic. If you look at everything in the Bible, that's not realistic at all. Faith is not a realistic thing.
Not based on,
even if you look at the definition of faith, it's the substance of things hoped for. The evidence of things yet to come, not seen, sort of thing. Correct. So I feel like that's why. Do you know what I mean? I feel like that's why I've kind of. I'm gonna say I've let go. I don't want to say I'm that person that's like, that can never be me, blah blah blah.
But your mind isn't there.
But it's like my mind isn't there, and it's like because of the God I serve, I know that honouring Him, He will honour me. So I will know that situation. I don't know.
I choose to have no fear because the Bible says perfect love casts out all fear. Me, now that I'm experiencing Christ's perfect love, as long as I remain obedient to His will, this is not to say human beings cannot be human beings and F up. You get it? Sure. Human beings F up, you know?
No, 100%.
All the time.
Not perfect,
but the will of God will always remain sovereign, innit?
100%.
And as long as I'm in a relationship with someone that's constantly pursuing to be more like Christ, I believe that we can work it out. That's how I view marriage, innit? I don't think, because I think now marriage, people have trivialized it a lot, where it's like, okay, but if it doesn't work out, deuces. I don't believe that.
No, that's not the case.
I don't believe in that. I don't. Sorry.
No. Okay, so to your question, when should you start?
The reason why I said that is because you will only be able to fully comprehend certain things when you get to a certain age.
Yeah,
and that's correct. That's just the facts of the matter. 100%. Like, obviously, you can be wise beyond your years when you're younger. Like, I feel like we're quite wise, not in a braggy way, but like
their spouses,
young. Like people do it, like it happens, but it's like this is me. Personally, I believe no one should start dating until they finish uni, or when they're or when they're 18.
And
some people will think that's mad.
I don't think it's mad.
So I'm just like,
do you know why? Because I've never known you had that opinion.
No, because I'm still 4 minutes more,
Okay.
But the reason why I say it is because with my life experience, when you're dating when you're young, what do you know?
Okay.
What do you know? Like, for me, it's also when I decided to follow Christ, that's when my life started to change. I also think you need to also have chosen Christ before you think about dating.
Yeah.
But that's personal opinion.
That's it.
But anyway, go for it, guys.
Personally, end of uni.
I know. It's a bit tight. It could be 20, 21.
Okay, personally, I think 20 below should not. That's from my own experience, and how I was, my mindset. I don't think, first of all, in secondary school, I don't think anybody has any business dating in secondary school. That's just me.
That's what I think.
Sixth form, still no business, but
maybe.
And I think university.
I'm not actually going to university, but when you're in that age bracket.
Yeah, when you're in that age bracket.
Yeah.
Between 18 and 21.
Yeah.
Actually from 20.
Oh, you think from 20? Yeah, okay.
20 up.
Yeah.
That's
just what you think.
Yeah, that's right. Sorry.
Do you know what? Yeah.
Go for it,
Whilst the both of you were talking, I was thinking, what's my opinion? I personally think I don't think there's an age like for you to start dating. Personally,
obviously, there's no one.
I just think it's not luck. When you're just blessed to find someone you feel compatible with. And I'm sorry if that's the age of 16. That's the age of 16.
Okay. Yeah.
Do you know why? Because dating necessarily doesn't have to start with the whole mindset we have now.
No, of course, no. It's a growth.
It's growth. You can date someone and it's growth.
Together.
You can date someone at 15 and you can see each other like as very good friends, that you just enjoy each other's company. You can be the most innocent.
But is that really dating?
Yes!
I've heard of a story like
That's
that.
part of
like,
it, is
my
dating.
sister-in-law's sister, like she's known who she's married to now forever. They were best friends in school.
Yeah.
And it's when they got older that they said, okay, we're now
that's
dating.
when they now got the adult,
Do you know
to the
what I mean?
adult stage of dating.
But
Like, that's when the whole
it's almost like they
seriousness
knew
came in.
when they were younger.
Do you know
like
what
if
I
I
mean?
bring
Some
up my
people have
daughter
that.
and I'm gonna believe she'll be very mature because by God's grace, me and my husband will instill in her good
Maturity,
values. Like if she can bring somebody home when she's 16 and I'm involved in that relationship and I understand, then of course.
And
but
future daughter, don't bring anyone home at 16. I'm not even joking.
but you just said it. You
can no. Okay.
So it doesn't apply to your daughter.
No, it applies to my
You
daughter.
wanna-
You can have a boyfriend, but from the time you're bringing him home, you're doing adult things.
No, not bringing him home as in like that, but as in
Like
he comes
introducing
around
him.
like with like her friend.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
No, not like oh, this is my husband.
This is my
No,
the person I'm gonna marry.
That's what I thought you
Not like that,
meant.
but like as in like
Oh, you can come to the house.
know who he
Whoa,
is,
no,
like,
okay.
you know what I mean?
100%.
Because I personally think that's how you actually
can do
build
that.
healthy
And-
relationships.
and
What I've noticed is
trust.
unhealthy relationships is because a lot of relationships are secretive.
Yes.
I've noticed when relationships
from
are
the
out in the
parents.
open, like a lot
Especially in
of
the
African
African
parents are in our
culture.
culture. The reason why all of us have been in just rubbish, is because a lot of the time when you're secretive about something, what is it called, in the darkness, like that's when things they just manifest. Things just happen when you're not accountable to anyone, when you're just doing your own thing. And I personally think if you're still at that age where you're being secretive about certain things like that, you're
Maybe
not
you
ready.
you shouldn't be allowed
Yeah,
to do
I
that.
mean,
That's
because-
so true, actually.
Yeah.
Because I was in a relationship before I went to university, and the reason why I thought that was okay for me to be in a relationship, obviously I found someone I was compatible with. We were so cool, like it was so calm to be in a relationship, and also at home I knew that even though I couldn't take him home and be like, Mom, this is my boyfriend, but he was able to come if he really wanted to just chill and it will be fine.
And your mum
I
knew
knew
about it?
my mum knew about it, so it wasn't like I was hiding.
Yeah.
You know,
Okay,
I was never hiding it. I never hid it from my mum.
It's
So
true
that's
what
why
you guys
it's
are
just
saying actually, because when you have that whole you're hiding secret, then you just I think it's 50-50. I feel like one side is like you have no business dating to begin with then if you don't have that open communication.
Yeah.
But then on the other side as well, it's like I feel like some parents don't create an environment for their children to be open and honest.
That's so bad.
So
Which
it's
is
like
true.
it's even come down to that they shouldn't date or that they're not ready, because they can be 100% ready, they can be mature, responsible,
But
the parents
they don't just,
especially like
it's like I feel like some African parents have the mentality of
after uni,
no boyfriend in secondary school, sixth form, no
and
boyfriend
then,
in uni, and then after uni it's like,
you
where's
have
your
to
husband? Where's your
bring
But
someone
how do you
home.
think that husband comes about? Do you not think the dating should? It's like, hello.
Do you know what I mean? Like that's why I think one thing that maybe a lot of African kids, we can generalize. We're not talking about everybody's situation. But we all grew up in households where you were sheltered so much that to even talk about the basics, it was just not even so. And I think the difference with our generation, by God's grace, is that we all have that open space, that safe space for people to express. Just say, this is how I'm feeling. When kids are going through puberty, the thoughts that they get, it's not their fault. It's puberty. That's why your hormones,
like you're growing everything,
as a
growing
kid,
pains.
You need to have that freedom to say this is what's going on, because when your child can do that, then they're less likely to be doing something secretly in the
and what they're implementing is just if you have a boyfriend, sex, and you'll get pregnant. It's no help.
And it's almost like a self-fulfilling prophecy, because so many African parents are scared of that, and that's why a lot of their kids do it, because you believe that it's gonna happen so bad. It's almost like you manifest it. You almost manifest it.
You're speaking of your child.
And
you're hanging around all these boys.
You know what? You would think this is common sense as well, but as parents, you would think that you should be able to allow your children to speak to you freely, and so that you can educate them as well, because you never know if they're telling you certain things and you don't think it's the right way. You can actually teach them what you think is right, because how would you teach them if they don't tell you?
You can help them from making mistakes so early on in
exactly.
life.
Like, you remember from my last video, we said a lot of the things that not necessarily we did, but just in general, a lot of situations could have been avoided
100%.
had we just had that open communication with parents.
100%. That's how I feel.
Yeah,
and even when I see like the younger generation now, they're a lot more open. Like I can talk to my little brother about anything, and it makes
I like
it makes the relationship is healthier because they know that you're not going to judge them. They also know that they shouldn't mess up. They shouldn't F up because they know they're going to have to report to somebody. That's why accountability is so key.
And it's so good, like having like younger siblings, because then they have someone that's maybe probably gone through what they've gone through.
Yes,
and we could be speaking through experience. Like I only have a younger brother, and always encourage him. Like if you don't feel comfortable talking to mum or dad, talk to me. Like, do you know what? Even though I'm a woman, I have a different perspective, but that's even good. I can tell you, how girls think.
Yeah.
And, you know, if you buy this. 100%. So
even like I feel like we need to also catch ourselves, because I've noticed that we become conditioned to be like our parents without knowing someone. So for instance, I used to be very secretive maybe with my siblings. I wouldn't tell them nothing. Yeah. But over the years, like opening up is just very key.
That is
changed, because it's very important to realize that you're having that trait. Okay, I'm being secretive with my siblings, because the more you be open with them, you're more accountable. So you can't just go out there and be a mess. Do you know what I mean? It makes you. That's why being a Christian, you're accountable to God. So you change your life. It's not that you're being forced to. You have to follow these rules. It's just because you have an accountability. Like you have an accountability to something. Yeah. But on the topic of dating to marry, I saw a video on Instagram. My sister sent it to me. Shay, from me, shout out to you. She said to me that the video said actually that you shouldn't date unless you're ready to get married. What do you think about that?
Ooh, you shouldn't date unless you're ready to
I don't believe in that.
What's your opinion?
Funnily enough, I was speaking to one of my friends, Dami, if you're watching the shout to you.
Hey girl.
I don't believe in that, and I know me and Dami would have the same opinion on this, because I believe before you can find the person that you want to be with, you need to have not necessarily use them as work experience and stuff, but you need to kind of know what you want. How would you know what you like if you don't get yourself in?
But then essentially you still have the intention of marrying them.
Yeah, you still. Do you know what it is? Anyone that you. Personally, anyone that I've been with, I've never been with someone with not the intention to marry them. But I'm not. Growing up, like, because I was 18 at the time, of course, it's like I would have loved to marry or whatever the situation was. It didn't work out, and it's fine because I've taken something away from it. Right. And now, whatever relationship, hopefully the next relationship I get into will be my final one, you know, then I can take that lesson from that and put it in that. But then if now the person I was with from 18, the only person I've ever been with, if I was with him, how would I know that, I don't know how to explain, how would I know that what he's giving me, like, not like there isn't better out there, but how would I know that this is what I like? How do I know that I'm not just accepting it because, it feels nice? Yeah, of course,
it makes sense.
It makes sense, it's nice, you know, I'm happy, but because I haven't seen other things, how, like, do you know what I mean? It's tricky because sometimes I get it, you don't have to. Once you find that person, what are you looking for? 100%. But certain people, depends on the kind of person you are. If you don't know yourself enough, if you don't know the kind of person you are, how you would react in certain situations, that's probably personally.
But that's what I'm saying. I feel like we should even change the question. It's not unless you're ready to get married. It's if you don't know yourself, should you be dating?
That's a great question too.
Yeah,
I'm half and half of it, because it's like I personally believe in minimizing the mistake. Just minimize how many mistakes you're gonna make. Please. Because for me, it's like if you did adhere to when I'm a certain maturity, when I'm a certain emotional maturity, spiritual maturity, and then you date, you also know it's not about you. Like you'll be less selfish in relationships. You'll be more cognizant of certain things.
100%.
That's why I personally think it's not necessarily are you ready to get married. It's more are you. Because
100%.
Like if you know yourself, like mindset.
You see what you just said? That's half of my opinion as well. The other half is also like people underestimate how much you can grow with someone. A lot. Like I don't know. Usually,
that's why I'm half.
It's usually black people. Sorry, like obviously I'm black. Like I have that opinion too. Like I'm talking to myself. Like black people have this mindset and they glorify it way too much, in my opinion. That
you have to be in the gutter.
100% have to know everything about yourself before you meet somebody else. You do need to know yourself to an extent. Nobody is saying that you can't be lost and be in a relationship, even though that's worked for some people in a sense where somebody else has helped them realize the kind of person they are. But I still don't believe you have to be 100% yourself.
But you never will.
Do you know why? You never will. You're never going to.
What you like now, when you get to 32, could be completely different.
And you haven't been exposed to certain things, so you don't know how you're going to react.
Do you know what I'm saying?
But like I say, with age comes wisdom.
100%. Because the first argument argument or the first fight you ever have in real life, you don't even know how you're going to behave because you've never been in that situation before. Like the first time I had an argument in a relationship, I surprised myself because I thought, you know, I've always seen myself as someone that's quite timid, quite, you know, caring and loving. I'm sorry, and I remember that day so well. I learned something about myself, because if you push me, I would really flip as well. Do you know, I have that side to me, and that made me realize that, oh my god, this is not good. I have to go and work on it. If I hadn't been in that relationship with that person, how would I have known?
That's true.
And in the same breath, you can grow together in that relationship.
50-50,
You know what I'm saying? Because I do think there's a base level of knowing yourself. Because there's a lot of people out here that lack self-awareness. Like you don't actually know that you have you think you're the best person to be in a relationship every day of your life. Me, I know I have flaws. I think that's the most important part, is knowing that you actually have flaws, that you have things to work on. That's key to being actually in a relationship. It's key, because I think a lot of people, they think, oh no, I'll be the best girlfriend. Yeah,
and they get there,
spending money, blah blah blah,
and then they'll get there.
That's all a relationship.
They'll get there and they're selfish, or
and
they'll get there, they don't know anything.
And one point I want to make as well: our generation, we love the idea of a relationship. And do you know what it is? Why not?
Who doesn't?
Who doesn't? It's a great idea, having someone that loves you, that you know you love back. However, we don't consider all the baggage and everything else that comes with the relationship. We're not ready for that. We're not ready for the work that comes into it. We're just ready for the end result.
People, the way some people are saying, oh, I wouldn't let this one in a relationship, I wouldn't let this, I wouldn't let this, I wouldn't.
You get there.
You know, relationships are actually forgiveness. And if you don't have forgiveness in you, you see
what Ashley said? If you have that mindset, you're not ready.
Because so many people think, oh, when I get into a relationship, oh, this guy's gonna buy me flowers, gonna rub my back.
Not to say that's not good, because of course I want flowers too. I want to rub my back.
Is that the majority of the relationship? It's the same with when people say, oh, when I get married, I'm just gonna be having sex all the time. Sex is like this much of marriage. And there's so much more that comes into being in a relationship.
In order to pay the rent, do you not both need to go to work?
Like there's so much work that must go into it.
And do you know what it is? All these things that we're saying, and I'm glad that it's only like people of a certain age that say that when you're younger, fair. The older you get, I promise you, it's not the case, and I hope you learn that as you go. Like it's quite an immature thing to say.
So I feel like even us saying you should know yourself, obviously it depends on how you define knowing yourself. We're not saying that you need to know what you want to do in 10 years time, where you want to be, blah blah blah, how much money you should have in your savings account. But just knowing your
self-aware of you, like how you
self-awareness.
100%.
Knowing that you have flaws, knowing what you want too, because a lot of people don't know what they want.
Stand for something or you'll fall for anything.
Because a lot of girls will say, oh, if this guy did this to me, I will leave. Sister, you've been there for 5 years. Like, we need to be realistic. It's okay to be there for 5 years, but don't realize that you need to be selfless. Realize that these things require patience. A relationship requires patience and forgiveness. You say, oh, you're telling all your friends, oh, if my man did this to me, I will leave. No, you wouldn't.
Sister, you've been there for 5
years. 5 hot years.
Hot as well. It's not just cold years.
No, fact. Because we all think we'll do.
Gosh.
Is it not real though? Even us three. We all think we'll do something when we're in a relationship.
But then when you're
it gets down to the dirty of it.
Do you know how many times he said, oh no, like I'm not speaking, and then the next week, oh yeah, by the way, guys, XYZ.
This happened.
Remember what I told you about forgetting?
Forget about that.
And you know, that's why. You feel like egg.
When you're dating, I feel like be careful what information you're sharing with people. Because you can forgive him, but can your friends forgive him?
And I feel like
I love how you pointed at me.
You see, with us, we've always had that. I swear,
that's right.
Like, we've always been like that. In the sense where, like, if something happens to one person, we haven't forgotten whatever's done to each of us.
And what we will do is we give each other the benefit of the doubt to make their own decisions. We never say to them, oh, do this, do that. But we always trust them. We're always real with each other. Yeah. That's the key.
100%. I'll give you my opinion.
You're not taking them for a mug. Correct. Take me for a mug. You never take them for a mug.
Definitely not taking her. She's staying right here.
So try it, innit? All of you that are looking for girls to date, guys.
Please just don't. You know what it is? If you feel like, as a guy, this is for the guys out there, if you genuinely feel like you're ready for a relationship, just make sure you know, obviously, like we said, you don't need to 100% know yourself. Know yourself to a very good extent where you feel like, I can not take care, but I can be with somebody else. But just be sure that's what you want, because you don't want to literally go into a girl's life and then a few months later you're not feeling it. I know as human beings we're quite indecisive, whatever, but just
People
be
change,
more cautious,
whatever. On that
please.
point, I need to
It's
say
not
something.
really like
Feelings.
fair.
That's the thing. You need to understand that feelings go like this. So one day you might not be feeling it.
Doesn't mean it's
that doesn't
over.
mean that you don't like them anymore. It
Doesn't mean you stop trying.
that you stop trying. Love is a verb. The Bible definition is love is patient, love is kind. It means you need to be these things. Like it doesn't. You need to do it. Like it's not.
It's a choice.
A relationship is not about I had butterflies today, so that means I like you.
And
Tomorrow.
the
butterflies might not be there.
Clear cut.
It's not like that.
It's not as clear cut.
Even on the commitment thing about guys as well, I think a lot of times guys struggle with commitment, especially because of peer pressure and stuff like that, where it's like they feel like settling down at a younger age is like dead and all of that. Like have a mind of your own before you get when you're considering being in a relationship. That's what I would say. If you don't have your own mind, don't even go and look. Don't go and look. In fact,
God.
it.
And even to follow up on both their points, like we've been saying the whole way through, open communication. If you know that you're someone you just want to play, make that known from the very beginning. Do not come now and approach someone, especially if they're you know, I was thinking of this last night, yeah. It's like if you're approaching, this goes for guys and girls.
Yeah.
If you're approaching someone that is a child of God, and then you just come in and you rummage and you play and you haven't made it clear what you want to do, you've been feeding them lies, XYZ, whatever. You are playing a dangerous game. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
You're not playing with me, you're playing with God.
That's it.
You know what happens.
You know what I mean?
You don't even need to.
You don't need us to say anything.
Be careful
like
because otherwise, where you're going is.
What?
You got me the fan.
Nah, I'm joking, but honestly saying,
Wow.
open communication.
Joking.
If you know you just want a casual date, say that to someone. Like,
Just
that would
And you know what it
so
is?
many issues.
And you know what it is? You never even know. The person you might be saying it to might be on the same page as
Yeah,
you.
be like, yeah, that's why I feel. Like, I don't
Just
want a
be-
relationship.
Just be real from the get go, and you're saving yourself a lot because if they're not on the same page, that's fine. Go your separate
weed
way.
it out.
Yeah.
And stand, as Ashley said, if you don't stand for anything, you'll fall for everything. Like, know what you want and actually stand by it.
Stand
So,
for
for
something.
instance,
Stand firm.
if you know that you're not a good communicator, work on it. Like, there are certain things, like, for instance, you know you don't stand for a guy that's mad friendly with girls, but then you know that he's friendly, but then you'll stay there. Like, from the jump, you have to know what you want because you just waste people's time.
Yeah. I need to communicate it.
Like, you need to. These are things that every girl knows what they actually want in a guy. Like, if you're serious, like if you've got your head screwed on, you know the type of guy that you can tolerate. And if the guy that's approaching you is not that guy, then don't drag it on for long. Just cut it. Because I think a lot of people, as we said, we're obsessed with the relationship thing. So we want someone to be interested in us
of it,
all the
not
time.
actually.
Yeah.
That's not no.
And
not how it
also,
works.
Intentionality is key.
I want to take into consideration. Obviously, we're not saying it's easy to cut it off. Sometimes it's very
that's
hard
true.
to cut it off. Like
Because you've already built a
do you
connection,
know what I mean?
attachment.
It's easier said than done. But
Yeah.
what helps me personally, just think of your future self. Like whatever you have to
It's
do
so
now, do it so your future self can be happy and comfortable. Because you don't want to be happy now and then your future self is suffering. What's the point?
Because the Bible even says as
Sorry,
well,
okay,
someone
go
who
on.
actually thinks of their future is a sensible
It's
person.
wise. We've been talking about this on this channel. Don't be a poor decision maker.
That's
It's
it.
always easier to cut something off in the beginning.
Yeah.
Like the longer you leave it, the harder
Safe
it's gonna
now,
get.
then sorry later.
Simple.
That's just if you want.
That's
if you
my
don't laugh,
motivation.
Yeah, that's
Right.
me. Yeah,
That's
that's
what I
honestly
say.
my
But
motivation.
honestly, I've realized if you have a feeling about something early on, you better just adhere to it then, because
Don't
you
use
say
honestly.
5 years down the line,
You know how
when
some-
the attachment is strong like this, is where you want to do it. Oh, don't
That's why you
worry,
stayed
it'll
5
change
years.
for me. It doesn't work like that. So things get stronger the longer they're there.
It's true.
So,
So true.
The attachments, the more involved in each other's lives you get, everything. Imagine. So you have to be careful.
But yeah, share your opinion, guys. Whether like all the questions that we have asked,
Yes.
whether you're watching as you go, whatever. Just
Yeah,
let us
comment
know below.
We're so interested, honestly.
Yeah, but
I
there's any-
love seeing other people's opinions.
Honestly,
It's
and
the
that we
best.
can like go back and forth, obviously respectfully.
But yeah.
If you have any topics that you want us to cover,
Down below.
feel free to. Even if you don't want it like to put it out there,
Or DM.
You can message us.
you can message us like privately.
Yeah.
It's fine as well.
Mhm.
But yeah,
We'll see you on our next episode.
thank you guys.
Bye.